All right, Bear, we got a Big Sky matchup to wager on. Idaho State, the Bengals, Eastern Washington. Big one there. I'm going to make sure to text the group when that number posts on Saturday for us.
Yeah, no way it'll be the number that we wanted now.
No,
That's
no
for sure.
chance, because Sammy moves the number on our podcast. All right, my fade of the week, Bear. We talked about this earlier. I'm fading Utah. The number is 11.5 for Colorado. That's what we have at taping. It was better early in the week. You made the point. It probably gets up to maybe 13. Now there might be some buyback, but here, even just if Brandon Rhodes is playing for Utah, who was their quarterback, they don't score any points, right? Let me pull my notebook out. 110th in points per drive this season. They have a red zone rate of 107th in scoring. They've only had 30 red zone trips all season. They score a touchdown, barely half of those. They're not scoring points anyways. Now they go back to their true freshman quarterback on the road. Colorado is playing good football right now. Now the end of games, a little wonky. That was wonky last weekend, but they ended up.
Their game management, they need to clean some things up there with that game management and some penalties. They did some stupid things.
But it's not going to cost them in this game because they're going to be up by multiple scores. It might cost them against Kansas next week on the road, but I think more than anything else, I could give you numbers and whatnot. This is a vibes game, man. Vibes, bro. Like, Utah's dead. Like, Bear, we had two different sources, right? I have my guy. You have your sources. Like, this is as low as Utah's been under Kyle Whittingham in many, many years. Even when they first joined the Pac-12, the struggles were expected. And since then, they've been just straight uphill. The way they lost that game, their athletic director going on the field, yelling at the official, and going to the press conference, yelling at the official. He's taking his anger out on the officials, obviously. But I think Colorado wins this game by 3 touchdowns. I don't see Utah being that competitive by the time the game is over.
Yeah, and I think Utah big picture as well, and I don't know any of this for certain. It's kind of speculation. Like, I almost get the sense that maybe there was a little bit of a situation where Kyle Whittingham, entering the year, thought he was going to have a really good team, win the Big 12, get to the playoff, and kind of right off into the sunset off of a successful year, like he deserves to do, get to the Rose Bowl multiple times and making Utah a national power. And now with the way the season is gone, with injuries, you'll lose that game the way you did. Not going to make a bowl game. The year didn't go the way that Kyle wanted it to or thought he was going to. So I wonder what happens now. Is there a little bit of a dejection? I can't go out this way.
Well, I mean, the coaches will prepare like they're trying to win, Bear, obviously, but that doesn't mean the team's going to execute in that way. Look, is there a path in this game for Utah's defense to start really fast, force turn? I mean, this is the best defense they played. Colorado's played since Nebraska. I mean, this is the one team we talk about this, what's the path to beating Colorado? It sort of is this, right? Sort of hit the quarterback, stop the run, try to corral. I mean, the Utah defense can do that. I just don't know how much want to will be from the players, essentially. It's college football. He's 18, 22-year-olds. They're thinking about the portal already. They're thinking about graduating, thinking about this and that. It's a tough spot to be in for this program. So I'm just going to fade him.
I think early on, I think you'll get some fight because at least the defense is as healthy in the front seven.
It's very healthy
as what they had all year. And remember, last year they did a good. I mean, that was wasn't Utah playing like their 5th string quarterback against Colorado?
They both, and Shedeur was out too. They both
so it was an ugly game.
Yeah, it was 23. I think it was 27, 23, 17, something like that. So that game means nothing for this year. All right, Bear, what's your best bet?
Yeah, time now again for our best bet presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. My best bet moved overnight from 3.5 to 4, but it is not going to deter me. Geoff, being that you have bet against UCLA so many times and you got to take a week off in doing so, I am going to hold the torch and carry it this week.
Yeah,
I am going to lay the 4 points with Washington at home against UCLA. The Bruins have been a great story lately, and maybe they were not as bad as we thought with playing all those great teams in a row, Oregon, Indiana, LSU, and there was one other good team that they played.
Penn State.
Defensively, they played better, and somehow last week they dominated the line of scrimmage, running the ball on Iowa, at least in the first half, and then Iowa playing converted linebacker at quarterback, kind of. You knew things weren't going to go well for Iowa in that game. So, but give UCLA credit. They got a chance to crash a lot of people's win totals of 5.5 if they can win a couple of more games, but I don't think one of those games will be Friday night in Seattle. UW is a much different team on its home field than they have been on the road. Expect Will Rogers to play.
Yes.
I know schedule has been a little bit of like the differentials if you look at performance at home, performance on the road, but I think an opportunity here to get bowl eligible off week before the Washington Oregon game at the end of the. I said Washington Oregon on purpose just to see how you would react to that. By the way,
hey, we're 1 week at a time. We're 1 week. It's Wisconsin
1 week at a time. Focus, laser.
Yeah,
put
focus.
the blinkers on and nothing on the outside.
No.
But I do like Washington at home this week. Still lay in the 4 against UCLA.
This was going to be my best bet. I didn't do it, as you mentioned, Joe, because I take bet against UCLA so many times this season. Washington 4-1 against spread at home this year. The one game they didn't cover, they beat Eastern Michigan by 19 points. Barely didn't cover that one. They're 0-5 ATS Bear on the road this season. So just a much better home team. Also, you have a California team, really a Southern California team going to the cold on a Friday night, Bear. It's a prime opportunity to fade that team. It happens all the time with USC, happens with UCLA. Look at the history of those teams playing in the Pacific Northwest, especially UCLA, cold later in the season, even up in Utah or Colorado. It doesn't go very well for them. So I like Washington as well. There is a concern about travel. You mentioned it, right? Short week after playing Penn State. And they are playing Rogers. They benched him in that game against Penn State. So he's back on the field. All right, my best bet presented by DraftKings Sportsbook is Purdue under 10.5 points. A little bit of juice in this one, Bear, but I'm comfortable taking it as of right now. Purdue plays Penn State. I was worried about Penn State last week, Bear, just sort of how they're going to look after losing to Ohio State. They look great. Like, no concern for me at all about this defense. Also,
Penn State MO.
I know.
Beat up on the team they should beat up, and they can't beat any of the top 10 teams.
Here's Purdue playing 5 light defenses this season. Nebraska, 10 points they scored. Notre Dame, 7. Wisconsin, 6. In the last 2 games they played a defense capable of stopping them. 0 against Oregon, 0 against Ohio State. Bear, give me maybe a shutout again this weekend, but I'll take Purdue under 10.5 points, hosting Penn State in that. I think it's like a noon game again. I don't know. It's on Big Ten Network probably. I'll have it on a second screen.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking that Purdue is going to score points again, because this is the type of team that Penn State will want to get the best possible playoff ranking that they can get. Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.